Okay, we should be live now. Just seeing if everything is working as to it should be. Just tap in the mic to make sure everything is working all good. We should be. It's a bit so much glitchly. Yeah, we might need to. I was thinking about potentially trying to use the stream on the TV, but anyways, we are here now. Basically, it is the well, welcome everybody to the it is the Carabao Cup or EFL Cup. I mean, it's the naming rights of football really get convoluted over certain amounts of time, but we are here for the first round of the Carabao Cup, and the match we'll be focusing on tonight is Charlton Athletic taking on Queen's Park Rangers. Though very much so, there is a lot of matches in this competition that is going to be played tonight. What's up, Statham? How are we tonight? It's actually kind of ridiculous of how many matches are kicking off in there for the EFL, the Carabao Cup tonight, as I believe 25 matches are starting, 24 including Charlton versus QPR, which is starting in about 15 minutes. You've got another one, for example, is Shrewsbury against Carlisle, which is starting just about right now as we are talking. It is actually kind of crazy to think about how many matches are going tonight. But for the main focus tonight, we are going. It was one of two matches. It was Bradford City against Hull City, and this game here, Charlton versus QPR. But I've gone with Charlton QPR. So, without further ado, what we can go straight into is the team list, and we'll first start off with Charlton Athletic. I do like how these are provided by the Twitter pages of the club. So we'll go in starting lineup. So for Charlton, in goals is Wallacott. You got Clare, Lavelle, O'Connell, and Clayton. Dobson, Forster, Casey, Giassimi, Gilby, Payne, and Leoburn. I might actually just look to see the actual formation, so it's not like I'm speaking complete and utter gibberish. If we can just bear with me here for a second, as we just try to find the Charlton versus QPR game and the field. So the Charlton lineup is a 4-3-3 lineup. So the Lavelle and Clare are the wing is the left back and right back, with O'Connell and Gilby as the centre backs. Leeburn, Dobson, and Payne are the three centre mids, and Giassimi and Forster Casey are on the wing, with Clayton as the sole striker. So I've got that. So, and now we go over to the opposition team tonight. It is Queen's Park Rangers, who are playing in a 4-2-1. I mean, probably a 4-3-2-1 is probably what they would call it. So you've got Dieng in goals, you've got Bon and Kakai as the left and right backs. You've got Dunn and Dickey as the centre backs. Thomas and Field as the holding midfielders, with Hamalainen as the centre midfielder. You've got Chair and Adama as the cams, and you've got Dozzle as the sole striker. So some of the names are a little bit out of place, out of whack somewhat. So just going to be having a look here. YouTube is not soon enough. We should be alright now. But yeah, plenty of matches on tonight. I'm just going to go through the list. So currently at the moment we have Shrewsbury Town and Carlisle United, which is just kicked off. We then, on the same time as Charlton versus QPR, we have Harrogate Town versus Stockport County, Bolton Wanderers versus Salford City, Morecambe versus Stoke City, Blackpool versus Barrow, Grimsby Town versus Crewe Alexandra, Mansfield Town against Derby County, Accrington Stanley and Tranmere Rovers, Bradford City versus Hull City, Rochdale versus Burton Albion, Doncaster Rovers and Lincoln City, Huddersfield Town and Preston North End, Fleetwood Town and Wigan Athletic, Norwich City and Birmingham City, Northampton Town and Wycombe Wanderers, Cardiff City and Portsmouth, the game we're doing tonight, Charlton and QPR, Crawley Town and Bristol Rovers, Walsall and Swindon Town, Ipswich and Colchester, Luton Town, Newport County, AFC Wimbledon and Gillingham, Cheltenham and Exeter, MK Dons and Sutton United, Forest Green Rovers and Leyton Orient, Oxford United and Swansea City, and Reading versus Stevenage kicking off in just basically 15 minutes after all of those matches. There's about 27 matches playing tonight, so we'll keep them relatively over about every 15 minutes or so throughout the game day. But we're just waiting now. We're about 10 minutes away from this from the match kicking off between Charlton and QPR. The way I currently see it is obviously Charlton are currently situating themselves in League One. At the moment, I believe they've had 1 win and 1 loss to start out their campaign. Just wanted to make sure and confirm this. If we could just go to Charlton Athletic. So we go Charlton Athletic and QPR. QPR, so basically in terms of the dynamic, obviously QPR are currently in the championship, so QPR are technically the better team because of league positioning. Just trying to see what else is there. So currently QPR haven't had much. I think it's actually cute. Bloody hell! Can we speak in English? So QPR's latest couple of bits of form. They've played 2 games. They've lost 1 game and won 1. They lost 1-0 to Blackburn Rovers in the opening game of the league, and they beat Middlesbrough 3-2 in a very interesting game. Charlton Athletic have played 2 games in their league. They won 1-0 against Derby County, and they drew 2-2 with Accrington Stanley. So, very much in similar form style, but of course, it's also very much into the whole league divide and stuff like that. So who knows what might happen. I did see a prediction earlier on in the chats of going for a 1-0 win in favour of Queen's Park Rangers, which I think would be a pretty respectable score for Charlton. Hell, I probably might see if it could go to extra time, because in genuine honesty, it might come down to that. But obviously, we still got plenty of time to wait and to see what will go down. So currently, yep, 2 votes, and both of them are going in favour of the championship team. I didn't know the EFL Cup would have started this quickly. There has been 1 match that has already been played. It was played yesterday. It was Cambridge United beating Millwall 1-0. So Cambridge United, the first team to go through to the second round, and by God, there's going to be about 25 teams joining them. So yeah, so Shrewsbury and Carlisle should have just started. Yep, it has. So we're 8 minutes into that game. So it'll be about 15 minutes in by the time the game we are doing kicks off. So I'm excited. I'm glad the football season is back on. It's a lot of game predictions. So in terms of thinking, so some of the games that are happening today, do we see any of these coming potential upsets? Maybe. Because, I mean, to be fair, I'm not exactly completely well researched in terms of league difference. I think Hartlepool and Blackburn should be an interesting game. Sheffield Wednesday and Sunderland should also be an interesting game. But both of those games are on tomorrow. MK Dons United, that's going to be an interesting one. Norwich City Birmingham should be a good game. Just trying to see. The other TV game that was on the cards, Bradford City and Hull City, that I think would probably be the main one for a potential cup set. QPR 3-0 is the prediction from Nathan. I feel like it's going to be that case, or it could because I don't know how Charlton are. Like, I'm very familiar with QPR, because I know Charlton, they've basically been going like up and down in between the Championship and League One, so very much you don't really know what is going to happen. I should state as well, yeah, unfortunately there's going to be no game footage, because the EFL are probably some of the strictest people in terms of sporting copyright. So if you are looking to watch this game, yeah, you might need to move on, because you'll just be looking at this cunt in all essence of the word. But yeah, we can bring out KO onto the phone app, which is basically, it's a streaming app that works with beIN Sport, which is basically how we are able to watch this match. So yeah. Another, now playing today complete with what?
So quickly and attack it cross court.
Okay, so
Glare down the other. Love a bit of drama within a tennis match, don't we?
tennis match, what? Well, currently at the moment, beIN Sports is showing tennis, so I don't know. It should. I'm assuming maybe it's just like a bit of plays, and then it actually cuts over to the match at the Valley. I feel like it'd definitely be one of these games that anything could really happen. So now we're just yeah, we're about 4 minutes away from kickoff now. Yep, it's probably going to be transitioning now into the match between. What do you think of Manchester United on Saturday? I did. I went to the to my local club, which basically does like all of the late Premier League games. I thought we did okay in the second half. I think our first half was quite shocking. Like, we almost gave away a goal like 10 seconds into the game. It's very much a chaotic time for Manchester United. But anyways, yep. We're here for the Carabao Cup as the managers and players both come out for Charlton Athletic and Queen's Park Rangers. Should be a very interesting game, to say the least. We can go through the team list now. So for Charlton Athletic, I could actually hang on. We could go here. So this is the team list now for Charlton Athletic. You've got Wallacott at goalkeeper. You've got Clare, Lavelle, O'Connell, Clayton, Dobson, Foster Casey, Jayasimi, Gilby, Payne, and Leeburn. And you got the subs of McGillivray, Ness, Chin, Morgan, Henry, Fraser, Kirk, Canoe, and Stockley. They're very much not in their positions because for some reason the EFL doesn't like doing it in terms of position. But here is the QPR lineup. So you've got Dien in goals, Kakai, Dickey, Dunn, Hammerleinen, Field, Dozzle, Thomas, Adamar, Chair, and Bond. And the interchange consists of Walsh, Drew, Gubbins, Masterson, Johansson, Shadipo, Roberts, Armstrong, and Dykes. Just a question, this Johansson, is this the same Johansson that played for Fulham a couple of years ago? Maybe it's somewhat potential. I don't think so, but I do remember there was a Johansson who did play for Fulham. So here we go. About 25 games going to coincidentally kick off with the same time slot. So yes, he is. Okay. I'm not useless. I thought it was, because I remember Smith did it on the road, and it was QPR against Fulham, which was like a sort of West London derby thing. So technically they are rivals, but yeah, bit of an interesting signing here. So Stuart Atwell is the referee for tonight's game. So just a last minute reminder, no game footage is going to be shown because the EFL are very strict. You're looking at this, unfortunately. So let's get straight into it. And we are underway, pretty much. Just we need to raise this up a little bit. There we go. Had to get the score in and all that. And we are off and away. So it's about 20 seconds ahead, which is fine. And just like that, about 25 other matches have just kicked off in the EFL Cup. So let's go straight into it as QPR go for a long ball over the top. And it's going to get bobbled out. And it's going to be a throw-in deep into Charlton territory for QPR. I feel like this is going to be the QPR's game plan, is to get an instant attack, control the game, get a few goals, and basically just put their foot on the throat of Charlton Athletic. I don't know why I'm explaining this like a or MLS soccer, you know, like that kind of stuff. Yeah, but it's very much going to be the play here. I wouldn't be surprised if there's going to be about 60 to 70% possession in favour of QPR. So currently passing around their back line at the moment. Passing it down the line now. Oh, it's a great tackle there by the number 4 of Dickey. Clarting the number 14 of... No, it wasn't Dickey, sorry. The number 4 of Dobson. Oh yeah, there's Dobson there, sorry. I got a bit confused. It was Dobson here who clarked Thomas. So, I got confused. I accidentally read the QPR number 4 as the Athletic. Yep, so Thomas now currently in a bit of pain at the moment. He got absolutely clattered. It wasn't really a Brexit tackle, but because it got the ball. But, so, yep, so bit chaotic as a start, so we could refresh now as all the games now start to kick off. Just trying to see if there's been any goal yet. Trying to check to see if there's any goals that happened. And yes, there is. In the game that kicked off about 15 minutes beforehand, Shrewsbury against Carlisle United. Carlisle United are now 1-0 up, so that's a very early update in terms of one of the matches that are happening tonight. So Carlisle United in the lead, so that's the first goal of the game. So at the moment, so pretty much not much has happened in this game. We're still waiting to see what's happening with Thomas. He's still very much on the ground after that tackle. Basically, QPR just got the ball right from kickoff, been passing around to maintain possession, and while the QPR players warming up here, it looks like we're going to have an immediate sub. So this must be pretty bad for Thomas. Yeah, we're still waiting here. It must be pretty bad. I'll go for both of you, mate. Yeah, you definitely are, mate. So it looks like, yep, Thomas might be getting himself off the field here, so it could be a substitute immediately for QPR. It's the knee that's been the trouble, but he's off the field, so he can continue the game as we are now 3 minutes in. And there's not a lot of bit of action, but it is a throw in to QPR. By the way Thomas is walking here, it's probably going to be a substitute. But now Charlton getting their first touches of the ball around halfway. Trying to get off to the right-hand side as they're playing a 4-3-3 formation here. So they have got wingers compared to a very centrally structured QPR with a 4-3-2-1. Now Charlton now with the team holding onto the controls. They're passing it behind their back line at the moment. Now they're getting out to, that is number 29 of Clayton, who will feed it off to Lavelle and O'Connell, and it gets it off to Clayton. So basically passing it throughout the entire black line. Trying to get some passes through here. It's kind of been really good in terms of how QPR are currently structuring themselves. And now it's a long ball over the top here, and it's going to just be simply jockeyed out by QPR, and it'll be a goal kick. So pretty good placement here by the QPR team, really just keeping the ball at Charlton's defensive end, and really the only way they can try to get some form of attack going is just lobbing the ball up the field. So could very much be a defensive benefit here for QPR. QPR almost got the ball there through, but it has gone out. It's going to be a throw into Charlton. Just going to see if any other goals have occurred. There's still a bunch of games still pretty much in the process of being kicked off here. No goals yet has happened. It's just the sole goal from the Carlisle United game. Being the only bit of action that has happened so far. And granted, that game kicked off 15 minutes before this one. Now it's back at the Charlton defence. And it's against it's very high pressing here from QPR, but Charlton gets a pass through here. They've entered the attacking half here. Running down the line of the sideline, and it's forced a throw in. That was number 12. Actually, number 17 of Dozzle that actually had to force to take the ball out, so it is a deep throw in here for Charlton Athletic. Potentially, sort of against the grain if they can get a goal in. So Claire now with the ball from the throw. And an instant pressure, and it's going to be a goal kick. And no, it wasn't either of them. It was a throw-in one by QPR, so good defensive pressure there. Pretty much the first time the ball's really been on the other end for either team. You'd have to think that all the games currently at the moment. Charlton have won the ball really high up the field here, as that is Leeburn. Gets a whipping into the box, but it's instantly cleared away by QPR. And now it's a bit of high pressing from Charlton now, and Charlton have won the ball back. They've still got the ball here. They're going to try to whip it into the box. They feint, passes it back, whipped in. Ball go past everybody, but it will find a Charlton player right on the far end. Whips it in. Does take a touch off a Charlton player, but then goes out for a goal kick. So, yeah, fairly even over the last couple of minutes. Any goal that has happened, there has not been. Literally no goals yet. But to be fair, it's been about 6-7 minutes, so we should be alright. Now throw in here by Charlton as they continue it around the defensive end, because that also be interesting to think if Charlton can maintain majority possession from this match, as they're currently being pressed to go far back as Lever passes it to O'Connell. And almost lost the ball there from the other. It's very much high pressing here by QPR, as it's only being forced to the defenders here. It's a crossfield switch here to Clay. That's actually a really good ball, but again, the pressure from QPR has forced them to go back to their back line. So as much as they can try to get a ball up the field and get possession, they can't do anything with it. Now it's another slide to Claire. Go with the ball over top. That's pretty good. The keeper will come out and take it though. Could be a really good chance there. He was able to get a touch on it, but it was asking a lot of him. Now QPR with the ball, trying to get a counter-attack, but Charlton win the ball back. And they'll maintain possession. That'll be a free kick right around halfway. So very much it's bit cagey, really. It's both teams trying to set the tone. It's both of them are pretty much relatively similar as wanting to control the possession of the game. For the first 4 or 5 minutes, it was pretty much all QPR, and now it's pretty much mostly been all Charlton. Now that's Clayton now down the wing, goes for a whip in, but no one's in the box. But does get headed away by a QPR player. But it's a throw in now for Charlton. No, it's not. It's been given to QPR. It did touch a Charlton player just before the and I believe that is Adoma, as they show a cut of a very solidly sold away stand at the Valley. And again, it's another chance. Charlton just has the ball in their defensive line as they pass around the keeper, and it's immediately another high press from QPR. That's pretty much all that really has been, is Charlton have been mostly holding on to the ball, but can't really get passes through to make them advance into QPR's half. Majority of the chance pretty much from the away end from QPR. The chance of this place is a shithole, I want to go home. But it's a chance here for Charlton though to whip in, force of the header, but it just goes over the bar there. That was actually probably the best chance so far this match. There's very good opportunity there for Charlton. As I was Labour, we try to get his head onto it, but it hits his back and goes over the bar. Just looking at the other games, there has been a couple of goals, as we are now 10 minutes into most of all these games. As Preston have now gone 1-0 up against Huddersfield, 7 minutes into that game. And Swansea's now gone 1-0 up against Oxford United, as it's 10 minutes into that game. So we're seeing some goals happening in some of the other matches, but not here though. I feel like if anything, this is probably going to be the game where it's primarily nothing happens. Genuine answer, probably maybe like one goal. Now QPR getting back the possession of the ball as they're passing around the defence. They go for a ball over the top here, trying to spring the offside trap to get Adoma on it. That's going to be a corner here for QPR. That's good jockeying there by Adoma to force the attack there. So corner opportunity here for Queen's Park Rangers. They're going to send about 5 people into the box. There's about 7 or 8 Charlton players defending for the 5 QPR players attacking. So here we go. First set piece, attacking set piece of the match, and it is a corner. There's actually not a lot of Charlton fans, to be fair. I think here's the whip in here. It's fallen to someone on the edge of the box, but it's gone over the bar very highly. Hit it first time though, so you got to respect it, but I feel like a chance there going wasted. You just got to keep that low driven, might get a bobble and go in, but still remains 0-0 as we're now 12 minutes gone into this match. Bit of passing play. We're still seeing more attack now, relatively now, so potential chance for a counter-attack here from Charlton. Trying to beat the defender, trying to get a shot off. Does take a shot, but it gets blocked. It will fall right to the centre of the D, but it will get one back by Charlton. So now that's Claire. A lot of the wingers, the wing defenders, I will say, for Charlton are very much... Oh, it's a whip in here. Too powerful, and it goes past every red shirt. But attempted whip in, but he's absolutely air swung it, and now QPR have possession. It's currently around the defence. There's another high pressing defensive display currently going on by Charlton Athletic. And again, it's worked to their favour because now Charlton's gotten the ball. So at the moment, I feel like Charlton's probably winning the possession game and the gegenpress game somewhat, but not winning the actual score game. So it's one of those weird things. I feel this is a game of this is pretty much going to be a game of chances, really. You just got to just take the chances as you can. I mean, football is a game of chances. There's a throw in now, right about halfway for Charlton. As Claire's going to take the throw. He's got a mask on his face. Must have done something to his nose or maybe his eyes. Okay, we have another update of a goal happening elsewhere. Grimsby Town have now gone 1-0 up against Crewe Alexandria. Out of all the games currently playing, it's actually the only out of all the goals that have currently happened, it's the only one where the home team has taken the lead. So now Charlton now with the ball, but just a lot of defenders back here for QPR, but they spread out to the wing for Claire. Tries to whip it into the box, blocked, and that's good jockeying defence. It's going to be a goal kick to QPR. Good, solid jockeying defence, forcing the Charlton player to play at it. Oh yeah, I very much just realised I should have ended the poll, but QPR now on the attack. Should be a free kick there for QPR, yep. About 30 yards out. So, sorry, I just realised that the poll should have ended. And the poll has ended now. 6 votes. Thank you for everyone who has voted. And it's an 83% majority in favour of Queen's Park Rangers. I feel like that's one person who's voted for Charlton. So here we go. Potential whip-in right onto the head. Archie Podmore, what's your prediction for this match? I'm thinking probably a 2-0 QPR, which has pretty much kind of like been the norm for what I've seen most people go for, like 1, 2, 3. No, whipping here by QPR. It's been headed away, but QPR instantly getting the ball back. And that's going to give away another free kick. Very much in roughly same distance, but on the opposite end of the field. See, I'd probably say 2-0 Charlton. Oh, it's actually a yellow card here given now to Claire. Yeah, it's a bit of a silly challenge there. As that was Hamel Allen who actually got fouled. It's a definite whip-in, potentially getting someone's head onto it. So second free kick for QPR. It's whipped in high. We'll go out to the far and headed into the 6-yard box, where it's going to get picked up by Wallacott, the goalkeeper, and is hoofed down the field. Not really a lot either keepers had to do so far this match. As that ball goes out for a throw-in. That's what I'm hoping for, is a win for the R's. Yeah, because I've seen from, but you never know with them. Yeah, that is true. Because in terms of form, both teams are relatively even. 1 win and I think it's 1 win, 1 draw for Charlton, and 1 win, 1 loss for QPR. But obviously the league difference may be somewhat of a factor. But then again, it's any given football match. Anything can happen. It's 11 versus 11. Whipping over the top here for QPR. Will get clouded away by Claire. And actually kept in the field of play. So Charlton shut down that attack. Fair play to them. So as we're past the 15-minute mark, so we can have pretty much a straight up look at all of the scores currently in the other games at the moment. So 32 minutes gone. It is still 1-0 to Carlisle over Shrewsbury. Swansea is still 1-0 over Oxford. 17 gone. Preston North End are 1-0 up over Huddersfield. 15 gone. Grimsby Town are 1-0 up against Crewe Alexandria. 17 gone. And there actually has been a new goal as Doncaster and Lincoln City have gone 1-0 up, 17 gone. And Reading versus Stevenage has just kicked off as which is the final game for the EFL Cup in this sort of thing, as we're now 18 minutes gone in this matchup, which has been fairly even somewhat, to say the very least. It's not really many clear-cut chances. There has been the set pieces there from QPR, from the corner and the 2 free kicks, but not many of them being threatening, to say the least. So now QPR are now currently holding on to possession. Good bit of ball there. Could get on the run. It's actually a really good run. He was trying to fit the ball out, but it's QPR players trying to appeal for a free kick. But QPR do win the ball back from Reading, from Charlton Athletic. So it's been... One thing is, though, it's a good chase to try to win back the ball after you lose it from both teams. Actually, it's actually been very much an even match. Whipping over the top here, trying to get onto the sole runner, but it's easily taken by Wallacott. And now Charlton will have the attackers be about to cross over into the 20th minute of this game. No shots on target as of yet, but you got to feel like it would start to happen. Just trying to see if any goals have happened elsewhere yet to report on. No. And I should state the games I haven't talked about, the rest, they're all 0-0, so... And with the amount of games, there's about like more than 20 of them. It'd probably take about 3 minutes just to state them. So now Charlton currently with possession still of the ball. It's trying to get clear with a switch. And it is controlled there by Clayton. It's been a lot of that play so far between the left and right back for Charlton. Just switches of play now again. Like we saw early in this game, both teams just passing it around their defence, just trying to find a way to cut through the middle. It's very much like, because Charlton's formation is a 4-3-3. It's very much wide out, but QPR's 4-3-2-1 is very centrally structured, which is basically making the midfield for Charlton very claustrophobic. Basically just making sure no passes happen through the middle, forcing Charlton to make these over the tops over everything and just hope that someone can get on the end of it. But now QPR currently with the ball. As we're now coming in with the ball, QPR, it's a good ball, but again, it gets shut down by Reading. What am I saying, Reading? I see the colour red, and I think Reading, even though they're technically, the kits are more like QPR's, but now Charlton now with the ball, as that's Clayton now going down the left wing. Goes for a whip in, doesn't find anyone's head. It's still up in the air. And QPR will still head it, and that's going to be a free kick for QPR. Very much in their defensive area. Yet again, yep, not a lot has happened yet. This definitely, like, as we're currently in terms of the 22 minutes, this is very much I definitely sense this as like a 0-0. Oh, bit of a mistake here. One-on-one opportunity, or wasn't really one-on-one. Charlton Athletic still have the ball, but it gets cleared away. That could have been the most clear-cut chance of the game. As a bobble from the QPR keeper, almost put it into a 2-on-1 situation for Charlton Athletic to score. But QPR's defence were pretty much ready to go. And shut it down. But now QPR now on the opposite end of the field. Now QPR trying to find a way into the box. It's whipped in. Tries to find the header, but it goes just over everyone. And that's going to be a throw into QPR. So QPR now right in good position here over Charlton. Yeah, I'll tell you what though, it hasn't been a lot of noise from the Charlton end. So QPR now trying to get the ball over the top. And it's going to get headed away, and it's going to result in a corner now. Wait, no? It's going to result in a goal kick. I swear that should be a... Yeah, it is a corner. I was about to say, it's like, there's no way that's being called a goal kick. So, second corner of the match now for Reading. 24 in. Basically, all of the set pieces have been happening for QPR. So let's see if this one will actually cause some level of threat to Charlton, as that's going to be number 10. It's going to be Chair that's going to whip it in. There's a lot of QPR players in the box compared to the last one. Here's the whip in. About 2 players have gotten them down. And it's going to be a free kick to Charlton. It's meant to be simulate. I think this might be a simulation. That was a simulation foul, wasn't it? So Forster-Kasky, yeah. Looking at the review, he's very much pulling down on Field's shirt, and they both end up going down. So that's actually extremely lucky, because I feel like you could have made an argument there for that to being a penalty to QPR. Very lucky there for Charlton Athletic. It's now Clayton now with the ball. Going for the short throw. Again, trying to find passes that's going to work with them. They've gotten one. They've gone for the switch here. It's a good bit of play here from Charlton. Spin it with a shot. It's been blocked by QPR. But that's the first proper shot on target. And they're starting to look threatening, as that was a Jayasimi who took the shot there. Good actual play there by Charlton Athletic. Clayton now with the ball. Now it seems to be Reading on the QPR on the back foot here. What the fuck am I saying Reading? I'm so stupid. Whipping over the top here. It's a chance. Keeper's tried to punch that, but he's missed it. Clayton's now got it. Takes it down the wing. Gets it over to the box, but it's just into an area where there's no red shirts and it's going to get cleared away. Oh, it's a brilliant tackle by QPR, and it actually keeps it in. That's a brilliant tackle from him, to be fair. But again, enough Charlton defence to stop there from being an immediate counter-attack coming in. So now QPR now with the ball, trying to get it back. There's about 7 players back here. It was a good bit of play here, down the line, over into the 6-yard box, and it ends up getting cleared away by Charlton. But again, QPR still with the ball. Feeds it out to the edge. Oh, counter-attack here, potential here. There's about 3 defenders by 1 player. That's going to be a free kick. No. Not calling it. Oh, is it a free kick? Nope, it's play on. Sub Rugby League history. Yeah, how are you, man? QPR now with the ball. It's yeah, but I think that was very much a bit of simulation. They're trying to get a free kick there by Charlton. So now there's a bit more. The midfield's sort of now opened up now. Oh, a bit of play here, QPR. Oh, the ball just getting clear, but it's fallen to a player, and it's another block here. A lot of the shots are getting blocked here. Queen's Park Rangers, I think, hold the record for the most amount of times knocked out of the 3rd round of the League Cup. Damn, that's a bit of a that's definitely a record you don't want to have. But it's a free kick now to QPR after Lieberm comes in on the foul from Dickey. So chance here for QPR to I mean, it's probably just about close enough to try to get a whip in for a header. It's very far away. That's probably like 40 yards. To be fair, though, I'm not very good on the I don't even know what system of measurement it is. I was going to say imperial, but I'm assuming that's probably incorrect. But here we go. Chance here. Another set piece free kick coming up for QPR. It's whipped in, but it gets headed away. What's the crowd like at the Valley? The away end, the Jimmy Seed stand, is pretty much full to the brim of QPR fans. The rest of the stands aren't, because the from the camera side you got the main stand here and the stand that opposes the Jimmy Seed stand. It's not really full, and I don't even think there's anybody even in the top layer of those stands. It's not exactly a good turnout by Charlton, but I do know they've had some form of like owner problems over the last couple of years. I don't know if they're any much resolved, but I think you could make a case as almost probably even say like a 60-40 majority of the crowd split between Charlton and QPR. It's very much not sold out though. And pretty much all of the noises come from the Rangers fans, the QPR fans. That's QPR now currently with the ball now, but it's again, bit of a dodgy pass has gone straight out. And it'll be a throw-in to Charlton Athletic. As we now go to half an hour, we can look in to the other games currently going on in the EFL Cup to see if anything else has happened. So just about to come into the added time in the Shrewsbury-Carlisle game. It's 1-0 to Carlisle still. Blackpool 0, Barrow 0, Accrington Stanley 0, Tranmere 0, AFC Wimbledon 0, Gillingham 0, Northampton Town 0, Wycombe Wanderers 1, Oxford United 0, Swansea 2, Rochdale 0, Burton Albion 0, Cheltenham 0, Exeter City 3. So those goals must have come in over the last couple of minutes. Morecambe 0, Stoke City 0, Mansfield Town 0, Derby County 0, Bradford City 0, Hull City 1, Crawley Town 0, Bristol Rovers 0, Huddersfield 0, Preston North End 2, Ipswich Town 0, Colchester 0, Grimsby Town 1, Crewe Alexandria 0, Bolton Wanderers 0, Salford City 1, Norwich City 0, Birmingham City 0, Harrogate Town 0, Stockport County 0, Doncaster 0, Lincoln City 1, Luton Town 0, Newport County 0, MK Dons 0, Sutton United 0. Keep out with the ball here, whipped in, headed away. Forest Green Rovers 1, Leyton Orient 0, Fleetwood Town 1, Wigan Athletic 0, Cardiff City 0, Portsmouth 0, Walsall 0, Swindon Town 0, and Stevenage now 1-0 up over Reading 15 minutes into their match. God damn, I sounded like a robot. But yeah, 3-0 to Exeter City. Those goals must have come in like very much over the last like 5 minutes. They resolved their own problems. I do remember Charlton in the Premier League one year. They got 7th, I'm pretty sure, and I remember the Valley being full. Yeah, because well, Stevenage 1-0 over Reading. Yeah, there could be a bit of an upset there. I just want to figure out this whole Exeter City thing. I'm just going to click onto it quickly because these goals must have come in extraordinarily quickly against Cheltenham. 23rd, 26th, 28. Yep, pretty much within 5 minutes. They go 3-0 up. So yeah, good bit of action everywhere else. Ball over top here for QPR here. If we can control this and get a cross in, this could work out here for Reading. I need a bullet. Whip in now for QPR. Tries to get a head onto it, but it goes straight out for a goal kick to Charlton. But yeah. The other game that was the option here, because I feel like beIN Sports has, like, for in Australia, it's like with this match and another match. The other match was Bradford City against Hull City, and it's good to know I've picked the very action-packed one, as there's already a goal in that game, in the other opposite match. So Charlton now still maintain possessions. We're coming into the final 12 minutes until added time. Tries to get a ball over the top there for the attack for Leeburn, but goes straight to the keeper anyways. I've realised it is a bit more of a challenge trying to do these streams for football, because usually with the NRL they're very much zoomed in on the play, so you can actually, obviously you can read the numbers clearly so you can make out who the players are, but for football it's a lot different. When I was in London in 2014, I was outside Loftus Road. I decided to go into the club shop and I bought one of the QPR retro kits. I've had it for a while but sold it for around 50 quid. Hell yeah, I mean, oh, that's a definite foul there. Yep, so that's a freak. Yep, there could be a yellow card here for Field. Yep, and he's been given it. He's been given the slice of cheese, so free kick to Charlton round about halfway. I will admit, QPR have had some nice kits over the years. I mean, to be fair, the two players I remember mostly from QPR was Charlie Brentwood. QPR are massive. Speak of the QPR the R's masses coming in, but basically was when Ardell Tarat played for him, when he had that one really good year, and when Rio Ferdinand played for him for a year. I think it was like 2013-14. It's a free kick on halfway there for QPR. Bit of a stupid foul that was. I got their anniversary kit, and that's a good looking kit. I like how they went back to the old style logo. Oh, so this is the old style logo, okay. Because yeah, it used to be that because it used to be like that coat of arms one. I mean, it probably wasn't a coat of arms, but I for some reason think it looked like a coat of arms style. But you are definitely seeing a lot of teams now starting to go away from that design. Charlie Brentwood, would you say Stan? Oh, is that Stan Bowles? Yeah, I was about to say it's like unless it's Ardell Tourette or Rio Ferdinand's 1 year, I'd probably be very useless when it comes to QPR's past players. QPR now is a bit of a chance if they can get a shot off. It's taken, it's gone wide, and it's going to be a goal kick to Charlton. So at least they're starting to get some shots in, but it's just they're not going anywhere really near the net. So either go nowhere near the goal or it gets blocked. And it's pretty much been the story of the past 36 minutes. Okay, so it's currently half-time in the Shrewsbury-Carlisle game, and Shrewsbury have been able to get a goal back as they're now 1-1 level. That's a very good goal right before half-time. Could swing the momentum. But again, mostly the play at the moment in this game has mostly been like it was at the beginning. It's just both teams trying to find their footing, passing around their defence, trying to see if gaps open in the midfield. But I mean, with the current formation for QPR is that happening, because it's very much like you couldn't get more players in the centre if you tried. So now QPR with the balls now, and they're trying to do the same thing. Pass out down the line. It does get kept in. It is picked up by Charlton, so it's a chance here if they can get through to it. Pass through into the box. Trying to find a gap. It's a layoff here. Low driven, and he gets cleared away, and it's going to be a corner now for Charlton. All of the set pieces have come from Reading, so maybe the first one for Charlton could see a break as we're coming into about 7 minutes until added time in this Carabao Cup clash. It's mostly just been pot shots really from Charlton, so maybe from this set piece it could work. As about 5 players instantly crowd the 6-yard box from the attacking Charlton end. But to be fair though, there is a lot of QPR players back. There's the whip in. And it does get cleared away by QPR. I remember, I think it was 94. QPR came 5th in the Premier League. Les Ferdinand was the main man. Gilby's still trying to hold on to it, and he does. So Charlton could have the attack for the next couple of minutes as they go for a switch here. He tries to control it, but he still has... Oh, it's just a free kick. You'd be surprised who has played for QPR's E-Tank. I feel like there'd be probably a few players like... It'd be like, oh, I didn't know they played for QPR. It's just one of those things. So free kick here, very much on the far right hand side, so pretty much just a whip in, pretty much around similar position where Kane hit that one goal in the 15-16 season against Arsenal. Is pretty much where the ball is at the moment. I think that's a pretty good frame of reference. So here we go. Whipping opportunity here for Charlton Athletic. I think people just say Charlton. I don't think it matters for the Athletic. Here's the whip in. And it does get cleared away by QPR. Fair play to him. But it will go all the way back to Charlton's defence, and they will maintain the tempo as they go into the last 5 minutes of the 45. Chance, here's a shot! It was a long driven shot down the low. But it does get caught by by Dieng. Keepers haven't really had to do much this game, but Dieng was sort of caught into action. It was very low driven and not that fast, but still had to move to it. And it's going to be a free kick for QPR, no, for Charlton for the offside, actually. Do any of you know a decent place to get the old QPR kits? I've been trying to get my hand on the old Guinness sponsored one. That's the kit that it's sold. Bloody small world. I don't know, I'm trying to be relatable in this conversation, but Charlton definitely has had more of the possession. I'd like to actually see the possession stats actually from this game, because I feel like Charlton's actually had more of it. If I had to... Yep, 56% possession in favour of Charlton over the over QPR with only 44%. Tempted ball over the top there by Charlton, but it goes straight into the hands of Dieng with good jockeying from the defence. Yeah, there we go. So we can transition over here. Ball still dabbling around the midfield. It's QPR try to keep the ball, but they try to make passes off to the wing, and it just isn't working. It's annoying. I'm a big guy and can never find it in a size I need. Yeah, it definitely is hard trying to find football jerseys, especially in the size for big blokes. It's I very much had the struggles with it myself, trying to find jerseys in Australia. But then again, the jerseys from like regular sports stores in Australia is very limited. So could there be a potential chance of maybe a goal just before half time to potentially change the mood of the matchups? Because it's still been both teams still very much cagey. No one's really settled at the moment. As you're starting to see some of the other games pretty much getting close into similar position right near half time, and pretty much nearly all of them have had more action than this. Is now Charlton now with the ball. When I lived in Australia, they only stock the big teams. Yeah, I think it's very much still it's still the same. Even it's very much only like the big clubs it's still very much an issue. Like you need to go onto like eBay and stuff for like actual rare kits. If you want a Southampton kit, forget about it. Pretty much it's like genuinely in terms of like England, it would be the big six, and even still trying to get all six of them is a little bit of a stretch, because it's kind of like Everton is somewhat rare. And even it'd be like Juve, Barca, Real Madrid. Whipping here by QPR. Was good into the box, but was over everyone's heads. So coming into the last minute of added time, before added time, QPR trying to find their way into the line. Just pass it around a moment, so we'll be finding out how much added time it will be, but Charlton easily charged that one down. I saw an Everton coffee mug and a scarf once, that's about it. You rarely even see like I think then with Germany it's Bayern or Dortmund. You do see Celtic I think honestly think Celtic's probably more common than like Bayern for some reason. So 2 minutes of added time for this first half. Not a lot happened. Both teams still very much cagey. Ball over the top here for QPR, but it does get headed away by Charlton, as Charlton looking to basically just hold onto the ball and probably go into the sheds, really. If you go somewhere like Red Sport, they stock the big six: Bayern, PSG, Juve, Celtic, Rangers, Real Madrid and Barca. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is, to be fair. But I don't think I've seen a Rangers jersey, though. That would be interesting. One odd ball down the line here for Charlton. Whipped in. Tries to find the box. But it does get cleared away by QPR. But it's fallen just to the short of Charlton. The shot! And it's just gone over the bar. That was, that was actually pretty close. And that's definitely been the best chance, trying to go into that near right post. That was actually a really good shot there by Forster Casey. But it's about 40 seconds left until half time here, so I feel like unless, yep, Charlton get the ball from the bit of a bad pass for QPR, so Charlton looking like the more likely of the teams to score here. Can they never go right on the last bit of prey? And that's a terrible ball, and that's going to go right out for a goal kick, so that should end. A bit of pushing and shoving there, and that's about it. That'll pretty much be it for the first half there. There's a bit of handbags at the moment between Payne and one of the QPR players. It was actually number 3 was done. Remember ages ago they stocked Leeds United gear, but once they got relegated, Rebel Sport dropped them. I think Leeds as well. I think actually, yeah, I think Leeds would probably be the exception to the big six. And there goes the whistle. It is half time in this match. Not a lot of clear-cut chances, but that is just kind of how it is. Very even, to say the least, though, from in a match between a League One side and a Championship side. So there we go, 0-0 at half time. It was mainly because of Viduka and Kuhl. Yeah, very much so. I think you do see Leeds, because I think Leeds is actually very, in terms of English teams that people in Australia support, the Leeds is probably up there because very much still because of Viduka and Kuhl. So yeah, I feel like the stocks would probably be a lot more ever since they came back to the Prem. So coming into looking at the other games currently going into halftime. So in terms of goal updates, 1-1 at halftime between Shrewsbury and Carlisle. Accrington Stanley, 2 minutes before halftime, a 2-0 up over Tranmere Rovers. Blackpool and Barrow just went halftime 0-0. AFC Wimbledon and Gillingham 0-0 at halftime. Wycombe Wanderers now 2-0 up over Northampton Town. And oh boy, Exeter City and Cheltenham's gotten a bit worse. It's now 5-0 just before half-time. Derby County now 1-0 up over Mansfield Town. Bradford City now 2-1 up over Hull City. Bit of a good turnaround there in the second half. Andy Cook getting a brace within 5 minutes. Bradford City are in League 2, aren't they? I don't think Hull's not in the Championship still, are they? No, Hull are League 1, aren't they? Hang on. Hull City. I don't think they're in the Championship, are they? No, they are in the champ. Oh, okay. So potentially Bradford City League 2, Hull City Championship. So potentially a sizable upset, to say the least. So there we go. Actually, that's a big chance there of a big upset there. to say the least. 2-1, the 2 leagues separating them. Crawley Town and Bristol Rovers just went half-time 0-0. Preston now 3-0 up over Huddersfield Town. Colchester 1-0 up over Ipswich. Grimsby Town now 2-0 up over Crewe. Bolton have taken back the lead. They're now 2-1 up over Salford City. Norwich City now 2-0 up over Birmingham. Harrogate and Stockport now 0-0. Lincoln City is still 1-0 over Doncaster. Luton Town and Newport County are 1-0, 1-all level. MK Dons now 1-0 up over Sutton United at half-time. Forest Green Rovers still 1-0 up over Leyton Orient at half-time. Fleetwood now 1-0 up against Wigan at half-time. Cardiff City and Portsmouth still 0-0. Walsall and Swindon Town still 0-0, and Stevenage still 1-0 up over Reading, and they're currently in the 34th minute. So yeah, bit of a mixed bag really in terms of result. Mark Hughes is the manager of Bradford. Is this same Mark Hughes that was coach of Stoke, wasn't it? When they were in the Prem? If this is the same guy I'm trying to think about. I don't think the substitute didn't happen, did it? For that, did a substitute happen? No. Yeah, I was wondering. Yes. Okay. Yeah, but I do remember Mark Hughes. But yeah. So, I mean, it's not really much to say. Not a lot happened. Not really many cutout chances from either team. Probably would say he managed quite a few teams: QPR, Fulham, Blackburn, Stoke, Southampton, Man City. Damn, bit of a... I mean, journeyman's probably not the right word, because apparently, because I've heard journeyman can be taken as a bit of a backhanded compliment. Like, he has been around. I think it was alright. But yeah, I mostly remember him from Stoke when I was like probably watching around the time. But yeah, just pretty much all the games basically just pretty much going into half time, just seeing if anything. I do want to see this Exeter City game, because so 20 minutes in it was 0-0, and then at the 30th minute mark it was 3-0. We have Nombi, Finn Collins and Jay scoring. 35th minute, Nombi gets his second, and just before halftime, Jack Sparks gets his makes it 5. Interestingly enough, Exeter have had only 42% possession, a pass accuracy of 64%. And they've had 7 shots, 6 on target, and obviously 5 goals, which is pretty mental to think about. Remember at the start of the season when QBR couldn't find a new manager and even the MK Dons manager turned down the job? Jeez. Bloody... Yeah, MK Dons, that's still to think. It's a very weird club. Obviously with like its whole scenario of the club becoming a thing. So pretty much yeah, so very interestingly that I chose not to cover Bradford City or Hull City, because that was the other game we could have covered. But, yeah, I don't regret choosing one of the few games where fuck all's happened. They got the assistant manager from another club, I think, but I can't remember who. Interesting. it's pretty much at the halftime break. It's just it's not really much to discuss. We've gone through the game pretty much. It's just not a lot's happened. I mean, pretty much somewhat tied. It's that's the thing. It's like for a game where it's between a championship team and a League One team, it is incredibly even. Like possession wise, it's actually like Charlton have had more favour, but it's hard to say what can come out of this match. For all we know, we could be seeing the best second half possible, or we might just see a shitty scrap, like a scrappy tap in from 6 yards out, and that's the only goal that could send either team into the second round. But yeah, but I mean, it has been an interesting game to say the least. I mean, the crowd hasn't really been into it that much, but then again, it's very much reflected of the on-field play, to say the least. Yep. Just seeing all the ads from beIN Sport of like the sports app, because it's predominantly because beIN pretty much has the it has League One, it has Liga, it has like some of the EFL stuff, which is predominantly just the championship. Then I know, and then they've also got the Serie A. They used to have a Liga, but now Optus has the Liga, along with the Premier League. Then you got all the Champions League, Europa, and Conference. Now at bloody Stan Sport. Then you've got Paramount, which has the Premier League and the A-League. The first football game I watched in person was QPR versus Cambridge, who were bottom of the championship, and we lost to them. It was a shocking match. Yeah, it's God, I can't even remember what my first football match was. I mean, to be fair, it is just Australian football, so it's not exactly much to bolster about, to say the least, in terms of like quality and stuff like that. Currently, at the moment, they're beIN Sports are showing, because of League One, they're showing like the best goals of Ronaldinho when he played for PSG in the early 2000s. Need a bit of flair like that in the EFL Cup. As a kick, yeah. It's hard to say. It's like I'm kind of regretting actually not choosing the Bradford City game, because because I think out of all of them, it's actually the one where it's the furthest league difference, because it's League 2 versus Championship, which obviously is probably like the biggest one at the moment, because the Premier League teams aren't in the Cup yet. So you just got to think like bloody hell, like you could have imagined. The absolute potential that could occur. Because you can't really say giant killing, because I know like that's all associated with the FA Cup, but it still would be a giant killing somewhat, because it's probably like what, maybe like 30-40 places between them. That's still pretty sizable, to say the least. Oh, yeah. I just so currently at the moment they're doing the ads for the SPFL because obviously because there's a lot of that in Australia because of obviously Ange Postecoglou being the coach of Celtic, but like they're trying to hype this up as like such a massive achievement, but it's like to me it's like, oh, you won the Scottish League with Celtic. Like, I don't even think they need a manager, and they probably still win it. Like, personally, because it's either them or Rangers who have won that league for like 40 years almost. Alright, here we go. Both teams now coming back out onto the field. Hopefully a bit more of an energetic 45 minutes to come. As we could probably also end up seeing extra time and penalties depending on what occurs in this match as the sun starts to set in London. That's where I find out Charlton's not in London. No, it's in London. I know my geography. So it's a bit so I think it isn't so okay. What part of London though? Is Charlton South? No, East London, South London. Okay, where are Charlton? I know they're in London, but what part of London are they? Charlton Athletic. Charlton Victoria. Yeah, that's definitely where I fucking want. This is where I find out they're like in the smack dab of London. South East London. So it's pretty much like Southeast versus West. Sort of. Bit of a derby. Not really. I mean, probably. Wouldn't put it past them, though. It's pretty much Reading versus Stevenage. Just about to hit half-time. Still at 1-0 to Stevenage. As we're getting ready now to kick off the second half between Charlton Athletic and Queen's Park Rangers. So Charlton kicking to screen left as they've just kicked off the second half. Let's just hope for a more energetic second half below the top here. By QBR, but it gets charged down by Charlton. Now, but another pressure instantly set by QPR here. Just going to need to try to find a method of trying to. Oh, getting a lot of. There's been a lot of instant pressure put on Charlton here. As they. Good bit of ball, but it's going to be a free kick to Charlton. That could have been a chance for QPR to get a breakaway there. But it will not stay like that, so as that was very much a foul on Lavelle. Just trying to check if there's any substitutes. There really hasn't. There's only been the 2 incidents, the 2 yellow cards, and that's all. And that's gonna be a free kick in the attacking half there for Charlton, as that was Giassimi who was fouled. So I just want to see where these. I just want to see where this other game was, the one that kicked off really early. So about half an hour left between Shrewsbury and Carlisle, and it's still 1-1. So that game will probably end before this one, obviously depending on if this goes extra time. So it's a free kick, set piece, whipping potential for Charlton. Okay, here we go. Very much a potential chance here for a goal. And it's whipped in. Doesn't get much, but it does get cleared away. Almost potentially for a QPR counter attack, but it gets cleared a bit way too far. It ends up as a throw in to Charlton. Do you normally cover QPR matches, or do you do a bit of everything? I do a bit of everything. mostly like so I just like, yeah, I don't support either team. It just so happens I'm doing a Charlton QPR game. Don't really have much of an allegiance to any club in England really. Just thought it was interesting, and I mean it was either this or this game or Bradford City and Hull City. But I chose this game, and I'll stick by it. But yeah, I try to do a considerable amount of football, but it's mostly rugby league. That's the main thing somewhat on this channel. But I definitely try to do as much football as I can, and it usually ranges from like different stuff. Like could just be like Champions League or Premier League stuff like that, Serie A on the occasion now. But Charlton now with the ball here, trying to find a whip in, but it's going to go straight into the hands of Dieng. So be very calm there. As QPR now on the run here, could potentially set up. Glad you covered QPR. I love this stream. Cheers, Archie. So QPR now with the ball, trying to get down the right hand side, trying to find a way to whip it in over the top. Goes over everybody, and it's going to end up as a goal kick to Charlton. I don't know, I just feel like this game is probably going to be 0-0 and it'll go to penalties. Personally. It just definitely just feels like a 0-0 game at this current moment. Trying to see if there's any goals currently in the second half of any other of these matches. And currently from what it's seeing, it is no. I mean, to be fair, some of these games are still being relatively slow of trying to get back. Trying to get back into these matches. Big sweeper and keeper coming there from Dieng. He has to run all the way back as it's a throw in now to Charlton, but luckily the throw wasn't done enough in time because there could have been a little bit of problems there. There's the throw by Charlton. Trying to go through the middle now, but they're going to try to flick it off to the right hand side, but it's again instantly cleared by QPR. So it's currently the pressure being given from Charlton here. As they Charlton go back to that defensive line to try to bring in. That's a good beat there. Trying to go onto a run, basically trying to bring in. So attendance here was 5,629. Only about 5,500 for tonight's game. Isn't like the Valley like 27,000? Whip in there, but it's going to get just chested away. But Charlton still remain in possession. I mean, to be fair though, it is a Tuesday night, so potential. Is it a corner for Charlton? No, the fans and the players are appealing for it, but it's going to be a goal kick to QPR. It might actually be a 60-40 percentage because there is barely any room in the Jimmy Seed stand where all the QPR fans are currently being located. QPR tried to get the ball in there, but it's gone out as that was number 16. It was Hamalainen. It's just both teams. It's just nothing really they can do at this point. It's just trying to pass down the line. Now they go to the wing. That would be Clayton. Back to Lavelle. Now it's going to be a switch to Clare. It's a good bit of play at the moment as Clare's now going to bring the ball into the attacking half of QPR. They're going to go down to the left-hand side, but they're going to keep and bring it to the middle. Just the amount of QPR players back is very much how they've been so far this match. It's just not allowing Charlton to basically get a free pass into the midfield, and it's been rewarded because QPR now has possession of the ball. But now you're going to see Charlton try to do the exact same thing here. And it's just a ball over the top here for QPR. It's a good potential chance here. Needs to wait for support as he enters the 18-yard box. Bottles the ball back, holds on to it. Good bit of play here. A lot of QPR players in the box. Whipped in, cleared away to about the 6-yard box. QPR players gone down, but it's play on. Charlton could be on the counter-attack here, and they could be. Passed down the line, but it's a good tackle there. Oh, that could be a free kick. No, it's play on. Play on now. QPR with the ball. So a bit of action has actually happened in this last minute or so. End to end at the moment. Here's a shot from QPR. And the ball goes way over the bar. Bit of end to end there for the first time this match. A whipping by QPR. But it does get Wallacott to touch it, and then it's a quick counter attack, which potentially should have been a free kick, but and it goes to the other end. So what's the ball now? I think it's a free kick. It's a goal kick. Yeah, it's a goal kick to Charlton. Kind of interesting, as in England the sun's about to set, in Australia the sun's about to rise. Kind of wild. QPR sees a gap, trying to go through here. Good bit of spin work here. Down to the right wing. There's a chance here as he enters the box. Chipping over the top. Tries to find the head but can't find it. And it was going to be offside anyway, so free kick now for Charlton. Now 55 minutes gone, so 10 minutes have gone in this second half, so we can look into the other matches. So still 1-1 between Shrewsbury and Carlisle. Just seeing if any updates. It's now 6-0 in favour of Exeter now. They're really putting the hurt on Cheltenham. Grimsby 2-0 up. Lincoln City are now 2-0 up over Doncaster. Forest Green are 2-0 up over Leyton Orient, and I think that's about it in terms of updates. But okay, so in terms of extra time and penalties, I just remember they implemented this rule. It goes straight to penalties after 90 minutes. I completely forgot that was a rule. I forgot they brought it in a few years ago, or a couple of years ago. But yeah, completely forgot about it, and yep, straight to penalties. So pretty much level after 35 more minutes. Penalties. QPR now with the ball again, trying to get a ball. That's a good pass. And again, the defensive line for Charlton's been pretty decent. Whipping over the top, tries to find the header. Does fall to a QPR play, but they don't know what to do with it. This game's on Paramount Plus. Is it? Is it really? Because I know, or are you asking? Because I know, yeah, because I know Paramount Plus has the FA Cup, but I didn't know if they had the Carabao Cup. Bit of a new revelation, to say the least. So it's a throw in there from Charlton in their defensive end. It's another throw in again. Basically trying to ease themselves up the field. Asking, no, this is on KO. That was handball. Wasn't called upon it by Charlton, but it's a Charlton, so they enter the opposite end of the field here. Good run here, trying to pass the ball. Clots in the box, tries to find a feet, but doesn't get a shot off. Charlton still trying to find a way to get a shot off. You just need one clear shot, and you could have a chance for a goal. Whipped in, and it's a great dive there by Dieng. Dieng will hold on to it, as that is Leeburn, who was trying to force a mistake. So potential substitutes are about to happen in this game. Don't know for which team though, but the subs are starting to get a movement on. Trucks starting to move around and all that. Dunn tries to go for the ball over the top. Again, meets a Charlton head. But it's going to be a throw-in to QPR. I think it's on ESPN or whatever it is. Oh, yeah. It's on, it's weird because KO works with beIN Sports. It's kind of like how KO works with Sky in England. It's kind of a weird deal. So it looks like a double sub coming in here for QPR. Maybe a triple sub even. No, it's going to be a triple sub, I think. So about potentially 3 players about to come on for QPR. This is going to be a defensive free kick now coming up for, not a defensive free kick, but a attacking free kick actually. High whip in, but it goes over everyone's head and it's going to go out for a throw in. Pretty much the only real sound really coming from the QPR fans. So here we go. Here comes the substitute. So there's 3 subs now coming in. So first substitute is Shadipo coming on to replace Adoma. 18 for 30. Wait, what? I don't have an 18 for 30. 10 for 11. I do have a 10 for 11. So Roberts now come on for Chair. Sinclair Armstrong. Oh, 30. Oh, he's 30, not 35. Okay, sorry. So Sinclair Armstrong now comes on to replace... Shit, I don't even know who. We should see how the Wallabies go on Sunday against Argentina. Yeah, it's a bit of a scrappy match from what I did see, but we should be okay. Armstrong replaced by Bond. So pretty much the front free attack, the three main attackers for QPR are all being replaced, and now Claire's coming off now for Charlton. And it's going to be replaced by number 34. Or 32. So Claire's being replaced by Ness. And Henry will come on to replace Dobson. So about 5 substitutes have come in. 3 for Reading and... No, 3 for QPR. Oh my god. 3 for QPR and 2 for Charlton. There'll probably be a couple of added minutes in there, but there we go. Now just to check to see in those last couple of minutes if there's been any more developments in goals. There have been. Just trying to scroll down. Preston now 4-0 up over Huddersfield Town. Grimsby now 3-0 over Crewe Alexandra. It's now 2-1. Birmingham have gotten a goal back. Stockport now 1-0 up against Harrogate Town. Newport Town and Luton Town and Newport County now 2-2. And that's all the current updates. So yeah, pretty much still half an hour to go pretty much in this game, and no team is looking either closer to actually scoring here. It's kind of weird how the 2 Serie A streams I did last year, there was a goal within 30 seconds in both of them. Now QPR now with the ball, that's Armstrong with the ball. Going down the short side, trying to get a pass off. That's good work from the substitute, and he will win a corner for QPR. That's the some of the attack that QPR very much. Both teams have been missing. It's kind of a shot in the arm of adrenaline now. So it's a third corner now for Queens for QPR. So here we go. A lot of white and blue. It's whipped in. Head up, and it's gone straight into the hands of Wallacott. Almost. Oh, it's good. It's actually a good bit of play there by Charlton, and it's going to be a throw-in right around halfway.
Charlton Athletic has scored just 3 goals in their last 5 EFL Cup ties, and they all came in the same game.
Still waiting now for it from the throw-in. But yeah, by the way Armstrong was playing there after coming on the field, it's kind of a bit more of a intensity needed for the for this match. That's gonna be a free kick there for QPR on their defensive half. But yeah, so we're coming down that now. 25 minutes remaining until added time. Probably say Charlton were kind of on top in the second half in terms of most possession wise, but I feel like now it's kind of swung in favour of QPR. All over the top area out to the wing now. To Roberts now. QPR still holding on to the ball. Ball out to the wing here. It's good play here by QPR. Whipped into the box. No header, but it does get headed away by Charlton. It goes out. It will be another corner now for QPR, as that was Giassimi who had to force a play and get the ball out of harm's way. But it's now another set piece in favour of QPR. It's gone short. Dink over the top. It's going to get cleared away again. Now Charlton with the ball. Tries to go over the top here, but there was a last outlying defender there, able to get away from the counter-attack. QPR just they're getting more of these passing plays in, but it's just no one can really get on the end of it. It's just all Charlton in terms of when these whip-ins occur. So now switch here out to the right-hand side for Charlton. Giassimi now. Try to pass it up into the midfield, and Giassimi will get the ball again right on the halfway line. And they'll go for a left-hand switch. And it'll give a bit of play, but immediately shut down there by the QPR defence. Long ball over the top. But again, it's just each over the top ball. Oh, that's just a ridiculous challenge there, as that's a free kick to Charlton. Yeah, their defensive half. That was number 32. It was Henry, yeah, who got brought down there. Yeah, that was a bit of a silly challenge from QPR there. Okay, so in developments in the early game that kicked off 15 minutes before the one we're watching now, 9 minutes remaining between Shrewsbury and Carlisle, and it is now 2-1 in favour of Shrewsbury, who will lead for the first time in this match. As there's a ball over the top there for Charlie that's gone straight out for a goal kick. And another bit of interesting development here is Mansfield Town have now equalised with Derby, and Morecambe have just had a red card. As Bolton now go 3-1 up against Salford. Portsmouth now go 1-0 up against Cardiff City. We're trying to get a whip in here, but it's another corner now for QPR. It seems like everything is happening around the games, but not here. But here we go, 22 left. And it's another corner now for QPR. It's whipped in, it goes over the heads of everybody. And it'll go out for a goal kick. It's... both teams aren't really firing on all their cylinders at the moment. But we're just about to come in now to the final 20 minutes of this. For those tuning in, basically in terms of wanting to know what has happened, literally nothing. QPR currently now with the ball. Dazelle. But now Charlton now with the ball around midfield. That's a good tackle. Not really, but it's advantage played here for Charlton. Surely that's played advantage then. He went about 15-20 metres away from the foul. But anyone's up, quick play now. And it's gone straight out. Yeah, not exactly an attacking masterclass here between Charlton and QPR, to say the least. As it looks like it's now QPR about to make their 4th substitute of the match. It's going to be Johansson who's going to come on here to replace Sam Field, who was the captain for tonight's game. So Johansson is actually probably the only person on Fulham, not for Fulham. What the? Yeah, actually, it does make sense for Fulham, but from QPR that I actually knows, because I do know he used to play for Fulham a couple of years ago. It's kind of interesting because they were because Fulham and QPR are sort of West London rivals. Hello, Stacey. How are we on this night or day? Depending on where we are, but yeah, this basically this whole first 70 minutes has been a bit drab, to say the least. But QPR currently holding the ball in their defensive line, trying to. It just really is. It's like it's weird because you'd think with Charlton being a 4-3-3, it'd be very much out wide, but it's been very much more central because of QPR's 4-2-3-1. It's very much central as well. It's a very weird type of game. It's now QPR trying to enter Charlton's half. There's a good bit of play there, but the ball was too much on. It's going to go out for a throw into Charlton. And it kind of frustrates me because literally every other game has something on. As there's another development in the Shrewsbury-Carlisle game. 85 minutes gone as Carlisle has equalised to make it 2-2. Potential chance here for Charlton. Whipped in. Does find the chest. He'll find the foot at one play. He goes for the shot. And it goes over the crossbar. Wasn't really looking like going in, but pretty much that is the closest we've had for a goal. So, other news and other games. Lincoln City now 3-0 up against Doncaster. Huddersfield have now gotten a goal back against Preston, but they're still 4-1 down. But yeah, that bloody that Shrewsbury-Carlisle game's looking interesting, which is Cadeo goal. Let me just translate. Oh, I can't. Shit. My bad. But QPR with the ball, goes for a shot, and it goes way over the bar. Shit, okay, Just trying to figure out how to help you, Calacante. I've been around, but I don't speak the language, unfortunately. It's now Charlton is now to make their third sub. And the passing just goes straight after a QPR throw in. Why do I feel this is going to be something along the lines of like your mum fucks fish or something? I don't know. Portuguese. Two goals have to come out. Oh, okay. Okay, I get you. You're expecting 2-0, I'm assuming. 2-0, probably. QPR now down the wing here. Can they get a whip in to find somebody? And it's going to go over everyone's head, but it's going to meet the sideline for a throw-in to Charlton. And here comes the third substitute for... Actually, oh my god, there's 3 substitutes now coming on for Charlton and 1 more. The last one coming on for QPR. So Kirk is now coming on and he'll be replacing Payne. Number 19. Now you've got Stockley now coming on to replace number 7 of Giassimi. Giassimi's actually been doing probably been him and Claire have probably been Charlton's best players now, 8 and 10. So Morgan now comes on to replace Foster Kasky. And that's the 5 substitutes there for Charlton. And there's 1 more substitute now coming in for Queen's Park Rangers, and that's all substitutes used. There is no 2 and 29, so that is going to be Aaron Drew, who replaces number 2 of Kakai. So, yep, that's all the subs done. Should state there is no extra time if this is a draw. It goes straight to a penalty shootout. Bit of drama, you know. That's what you look for these kinds of matches. Some cup drama. But I prefer some fucking goals. Oh, here we go. Chance here for QPR down the attacking wing. On the right hand side now, whipping over the top, but it does get blocked and cleared away. But just another development in the late Shrewsbury-Carlisle game. Shrewsbury have now gone 3-2 up in the 89th minute. There's been about 3 goals in 10 minutes. So there we go. 75th minute, Daniel Laudot makes it 2-1. Then Christian Dennis makes it 2-2 in the 81st. And then Che Dunkley makes it 3-2 in the 86th. So very close coming down the wire. Now QPR now with the ball. Tries to take a shot. It takes a bobble. It's going to be a corner. So that should be the 5th corner that QPR have had this match. I've got faith for a QPR goal. I just want faith for a goal, Archie. But for your sake, hopefully it's a QPR goal. But I mean, by the way the current ways is at the moment, it's very much most likely to happen for QPR. Like, Charlton haven't looked threatening for the last, 15-20 minutes. So here we go. Here is the corner. Played to the edge. Been passed around. And it's just a waste, to be honest. So now coming down to final 13 minutes, you've got to start thinking. So obviously, do you go for the probably go for the goal, but you also got to think all the subs have been made, so people are just basically getting prepared for the penalty shootout. You got to think somewhat mentally, but you can't switch off because then you're like, oh shit, we've conceded. Could have a last minute winner on our hands, potentially. Sinclair Armstrong, we'll say as soon as he's come on, he's actually added a bit of adrenaline into this game. He's actually been like refusing to give up on plays. He's been running like a machine. He's actually been really good since coming on the bench, from the bench.
Yes. 13 minutes of the 90 remain.
And the thing with the amount of substitutes, it's probably going to be about 4 or 5 minutes of added time still to play. How the hell's that a foul? As number 32, as Henry goes down, there was no way it was a touch. It was just a spin move that got the ball away from him, and somehow it's a free kick to Charlton, but it doesn't really end from much, as it's a throw-in right on halfway, so it's not like Charlton have taken much advantage of it. Tranmere have now made it 2-1 against Accrington Stanley. Oxford have now gotten a goal. It's now, they're still 2-1 down though. But Portsmouth now like gone 3-0 up now, and that's pretty much as that's of what's happened. It's a goal kick now to Charlton. It's just how the game has really been. Not a lot has happened. Not much happening. I mean, I do prefer that like instead of being another 30 minutes of added time, that is a penalty shootout. So it's not like we're going to be waiting for much longer. But QPR now with the ball still. As we're coming into the final 10 minutes of the 90. It's a ball over the top here. Just the touches and from the heading of from the other top through balls by QPR really just. Here we go. QPR now with a chance. Goes for the shot. It's in! What an absolute beautiful goal by Roberts. And finally, we have the breakthrough. And it's one of the substitutes for QPR. It is an absolute beautiful finesse shot from on the edge of the box. And it's 1-0 to QPR. Finally, we have a goal. Just picks up the ball, takes it onto his right-hand foot, just hits it right into the corner. And there we go. It is QPR 1, Charlton 0. What a strike from Roberts. That's a brilliant goal there. Oh my god, there was 2,500 fans. There's like 2,500 fans in the away end. And there's only about 5,500 in the actual stadium. So it's genuinely almost half the attendance is the QPR fans. So there we go. We now have a timer. It's not like, oh, we don't have to go straight to penalties. We finally have seen a goal. And to be fair, it is an absolute peach of a goal there by Roberts to make it 1-0. And now maybe could this start making the game exciting now? I mean, it kind of has to now. It's ball over the top here for Charlton. Oh, almost bobbled. That could have landed into a shot potentially there to make it an instant reply. Can't believe I missed a QPR goal. I was getting another drink. Yeah, well, basically what happened was it was, you probably zoom back, reverse back to watch it, but it was Roberts, took the ball, pitched it around, like, in between the middle of, like, the Charlton's half, took it onto his right foot, just pinged it into the far right corner, and, just straight in. Easy as not easy as you like, but it was just a really good strike from Roberts. But now Charlton now trying to find an equaliser here. Here's a pass in now. They're trying to find someone to break through. That's going to be a corner now for Charlton. They've only had one other corner. So it's another chance for a set piece here. We've now got 7 minutes until added time. So here comes whipping out a lot of red shirts. And it will get headed away by QPR. But it falls to a Charlton player. Still got it. Bobble. That's going to be another corner. Another corner now for Charlton. Let's hope it stays 1-0. Yeah. So some good defensive blocks there from QPR, but now it's another corner now for Charlton. And here comes the whip in. It's fallen to the feet of somebody, but it gets cleared away. It's still in the box, but they can't do anything with it now. QPR's got the ball, and it's going to be a free kick to QPR anyways. But that's the thing. QPR need to be a little bit careful. It's because the ball can just fall to the hands of just a stray boot and somehow find its way into the net. It's just a bunch of miss swings that prevented that from going into the net. Obviously, a bit of a silly foul there on Johansson. Well, there we go. The Shrewsbury-Carlisle game has ended after a bit of a chaotic last 15 minutes as Shrewsbury win 3-2, and they are the second team to go through to the next round of the Carabao Cup. 2-1 Derby County now, and there's been a red card for Mansfield Town. Bradford still 2-1 up. Bolton now 4-1 up against Salford. Birmingham City have come back to make it 2-2 against Norwich. Newport now 3-2 up against Luton. Walsall 2-0 up against Swindon. Reading now have equalised against Stevenage. Swindon Town have a red card. So, yep, goals are starting to come in left, right and centre here. So now coming into the last 5 minutes of the regular 90. They go down to the wing potentially for QPR just to hold into it. Should be a throw into QPR there. As long as QPR keeps the ball down this end of the field, maybe even get another goal, should pretty much seal it for them. But you still got to think there's probably going to be about 3 to 5 minutes of added time for the amount of subs that have taken place. Roberts now with the ball, the goal scorer. He's just going to hold on to it, try to just get the possession there for QPR. Now they're just trying to find, just hold on to the ball, really. But yeah, the bit of passing does force the ball to go out. It's a Charlton throw-in. I'd assume the red card would result in a penalty, I think. No, it doesn't. Huh. Just a red card has just happened from the Mansfield Town game. There we go, QPR now with a potential attack here, but there's no support for the lone player on the wing, but it does get cleared away by Charlton, which means heavy amounts of ball staying in deep in the QPR attacking half, which just means that Charlton really want to have a chance to basically get the ball for an equaliser. That's a good bit of play there, and QPR just holding onto the ball here. But in comes a lot of pressing there by Charlton. That's a free kick there to Charlton there. Bit of a silly move there. So we're now coming 2.5 minutes away now from finding out how much added time there'll be. I'll probably say about 4 minutes. So Charlton now, they need to find something because a goal, pretty much they need a goal to send it to the penalty shootout. Long ball over the top and it's going to be a throw in to QPR.
Can you just keep going?
Why?
It's just the qualifications. It's just gone extra time.
Wait, who's who?
It's PSV against Monaco.
Anyways, now throw in there for QPR and it'll be straight to where Charlton's got it. So Charlton might have a couple of chances here to try to get an equaliser to force a penalty shootout. But again, QPR trying to force them into not being able to get into their opposite end. Oh, the kick from the keeper did get a deflection off a QPR player, but it's still Charlton end up with the ball. And now they enter QPR's half.
Running out, Charlton are to keep their Carabao Cup hopes alive. O'Connell. Charlie Kirk.
Here we go. Here's the ball. Whipped in. Bobbles in the box. Trying to get a boot to it. Still going. And it's going to be a corner. Dieng is at the force to make a save there. So it's a corner now for Charlton. In the 89th minute. So here we go. Could be potentially some late drama here. Whipped in. It's bobbled into the box. There's a shot. What a strike! Oh my god. Henry with an absolute thunderbolt. Coming out from the corner. Hits it first time into the far left post. And just like that, with 1 minute left in regular time, it's 1-1. It gets bobbled cleared away. Henry with an absolute thunder strike from outside the 18. Rockets into the top left corner and has potentially sent this game into a penalty shootout. There's no extra time. What an absolute beauty of a goal. That is unbelievable there by Henry. And there we go. 4 minutes of added time here. That's unbelievable. That was a fantastic strike. And now we have a penalty shootout potentially on our hands unless another bit of last minute actions happen. So 3.5 minutes left in this game before penalties. Now the ball down the line. Shadipo whips it in. Tries to find a bobble, but it goes into the hands of the keeper for Walcott. Now there's now 3 minutes remaining until penalties. This is actually unbelievable. Like, Charlton were out of this, but for some reason they started attacking the better, becoming the better team after the QPR goal. So now 2.5 remaining now. QPR have now got possession of the ball. QPR keeping it inside the field of play. And the pass hasn't gone. QPR still have got it, so who knows what might happen. You got to think maybe potentially QPR were caught napping from that goal. Here we go. Coming into the last 2 minutes of the game now. Now QPR again with the ball now. Goes for a through ball to Shadipo. Armstrong. Trying to find something. Lays it out to one of the... to Johansson. He tries to go for a low-driven strike. We'll find back to him though. So QPR will still have possession of the ball. Now Shadipo with the ball. Beats one. Goes for a strike! Oh my god! You couldn't get more close if you tried. That would have been an absolute peach of a goal, but it was just wide. That is almost kissing the post. Unbelievable. I mean, this last 10 minutes, the game has come to life. Now we're coming into the final minute of added time. And just like that, a goal in the 80th minute put QPR in front. But an absolute last-ditch strike from a corner in the 89th minute by Henry has now... That's a free kick to QPR. How's that not a foul? How is that not a foul? But anyways, we're coming... There's about 40 seconds remaining in that. Honestly, QPR... Unless Charlton can get all the way down the other end, I feel like this could be the end of the regular match and potentially the start of the penalties. QPR's gotten the ball now. Last roll of the dice here for QPR. Whips it over the top, gets a head onto it, and the ball will go out. So and Walcott's gonna chew as much time as possible and will send it. And that should be the end of the 90. So we're just waiting for the kick now. And there goes the whistle. We're off to penalties to decide. It's actually crazy to think. I did think it was potentially going to penalties, but not with what has happened. 2 goals in the last 10 minutes. Forcing it to go 1-1. An absolute miracle strike by Henry. Off a deflection of a corner. To tie the game up and to send it back into penalties. What drama. What drama, to say the least. Now as we can go into the other games at the moment, because most of the games are currently right near the end of their match. So Shrewsbury have already won. They won 3-2 against Carlisle. Blackpool and Barrow just about to end their game at 0-0. They're going to penalties potentially as well. Accrington Stanley still 2-1 up. Gillingham are now 1-0 up against AFC Wimbledon in the 92nd minute. Wickham still 2-1 up against Northampton Town in the 92nd minute. Oxford United, Swansea. Oxford United getting 2 late goals to tie the game. A 93rd minute equaliser to send that game into penalties. But it's Rochdale now 1-0 up against Burton still. Exeter City now 7-0 in the 93rd minute. Stoke City and Morecambe also tied. 95th minute. Derby County still 2-1 up against Mansfield Town in the 96th minute. Bradford City still 2-1 up, so they're very close for completing a very big upset. Crawley Town now 1-0 up against Bristol Rovers. 94th minute. Preston 4-1 up against Huddersfield in the 93rd. Colchester 1-0 up against Ipswich in the 91st. Grimsby now 4-0 up against Crewe Alexandria. Bolton have now won 5-1. At full time, Norwich and Birmingham still 2-2, could go to penalties. Stockport have gone 1-0 up against Harrogate Town. 3-0 to Lincoln over Doncaster. 2-3 in favour of Newport County, still in the 90. MK Dons still 1-0 up in the 94th. Forest Green 2-0 up in the 94th. Fleetwood Town 1-0 winners over Wigan. Portsmouth are now 3-0 up against Cardiff City. Walsall now 2-0 up against Swindon Town. And Reading and Stevenage are tied with 10 minutes to go. So, I've managed to miss both goals. Luck against me. So here we go as we go into penalties now. We might as well just hide this. Let's just get into it. So the coin toss has happened. It is kicking to the end of the Charlton fans, which is not aimed at the away end. You coming to watch the penalties? Are you coming to watch the penalties? So it is going to be Charlton who will take the first penalty. So Stockley against Dieng to open up this penalty shootout. So here we go. The first penalty. Low driven into the right hand corner. That's a good penalty, and that's 1-0 in the first penalty. I've been watching you for a little while. You do a good job. Now you have a new subscriber. Cheers, Trucking Down Under. So here comes Johansson now for QPR. This to make it 1 from 1. 1-1. Even on penalties. Johansson now to step up. Oh, it's saved! It's been saved and kept out. Comes off the keeper of Walcott, and it's come off the crossbar as well. And it's now 1-0 to Charlton after the first set of penalties. Okay. Now this is interesting. Now, Kirk. Now for Charlton. This to make it a 2-0 lead in the penalty shootout. Here comes the step. Low driven, similar position as Stockley. And it's now 2-0. And now this is an ever crucial penalty now for QPR. They need to make this. Roberts now, who got the goal to make it 1-0 to Charlton. To 1-0 to QPR in the 80th minute. Now he has to put this through again. Put this through. The commentator's just taking everything I'm saying. But here we go. He needs to get this. It's 2-1. Can you move the scores up, please? I can't see them. The problem is, though, is like it's ahead, so I don't know if it's gonna like end prematurely. So I'll just have to keep telling you this. But currently now, it's 2-1. Both teams have taken 2 penalties. And unfortunately, it could spoil it. So unfortunately, but I'll just keep you in touch. But now Morgan for Charlton. This to make it 3-2. 3-1. Sorry. Let's make it 3-1. And that's a brilliant penalty. It's now 3-1 to Charlton. 3 out of 3. And now QPR do need to make this penalty. Because if QPR miss this penalty, then all Charlton need to do is put it in, and they are through to the second round of the EFL Cup. This is a huge penalty for QPR. Here we go. And it's right into the right-hand corner. It's 3-2. So after 3 penalties each, it is 3-2 to Charlton. After Johansson's first penalty for the QPR's first penalty was saved. So now, so Aaron Henry now to take Charlton's 4th penalty. If this goes in, it's match point to Charlton, and then QPR must score. So this for Henry. This to make it 4-2. He's got it. Good penalty, but the keeper went the right way, but it does go through. And now all the pressure's on QPR. So now as simple as this. QPR must score, or Charlton will go through to the second round of the Carabao Cup. So here we go. QPR now. That's just a great penalty there. Dozzle with a brilliant penalty there. 4-3. You Charlton fan or QPR? I'm neither. I'm neutral. But now, it's another match point here for Charlton. If Charlton score this penalty, they are through. So here we go. This to make it perfect 5 from 5 for Charlton. And this to send Charlton into the second round of the Carabao Cup. And it's in! It was touched by Diang, but it does roll into the goal. And there we go. Charlton Athletic are through to the second round of the Carabao Cup. We can go in there 2-1. Oh, yeah. Oh, I just realised that actually it doesn't show the penalties. Oh. Okay, never mind. But there we go. After pretty much an incredibly boring 80 minutes, we get a goal in favour of... We get the goal from Roberts for QPR. We thought it was all over, but then the 89th minute, a goal from Henry equalises it for Charlton, and we go to penalties, and Charlton go 5 from 5 from penalties, and Johansson being saved by Wallacott, and that takes Charlton through to the second round of the Carabao Cup. Just trying to look for the other games going into full time, but I just want to check to see quickly that Bradford City won 2-1 against Hull City. Probably the biggest upset in the EFL Cup first round you could possibly get. But anyways, that is the end of the stream. Thank you all very much.